Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to resize a dino. In this instance it's going to be the ant, and make it writable by adding a write edge socket. What this is going to involve is retargeting the skeleton and animations to it. And also for fun, we're going to throw a particle system on it too, because I know a lot of people want to know how to do that. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is look for the ant character. And we're going to go ahead and copy that BP into our folder. Next, we need to copy the skeleton, so go ahead and search for that. Copy that as well. All right, so let's go into our mod folder. We're going to go ahead and rename it. We're going to call it Giant Ant. And same for the skeleton. And you'll see I have a primal item in here. That's just so we can spawn it easily. So we'll go ahead and open that up. And then what we're going to do is use spawn actor class, which is right here. We're going to set that to our giant ant. And this should already be set, but yeah, set it to auto tame spawn actor. Save it and compile. Now we'll be able to just spawn that ant in, and it'll be already tamed, so we can hop right on it. So now, next thing we need to do is we need to take the mesh here, copy it into our folder. We'll go ahead and rename it to Giant Ant. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and assign the skeleton to our skeleton here. So Giant Ant skeleton, accept. And we get this message down here telling us that our Giant Ant skeleton needs to be saved. Go ahead and save it. Then we're going to open this guy up. And as you can see, we got our ant, and he's using our new skeleton. However, you notice we have no animations, so we can fix that. Let's go ahead and save our mesh and skeleton. Now we're going to go right here, open up the character BP, and browse to the animation blueprint. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and set it to use our new mesh. So probably should have done that first. Well, actually, no, we need, because it's easier to browse it here, because when I replace this, it's going to disappear. So let's go ahead and go here to our animation blueprint, and let's go ahead and retarget it. Uncheck show only compatible skeletons. Type in giant, select your skeleton, select. All right, so now we're going to go back here to our ant, and now you'll see we have an ant NM blueprint copy. So let's go ahead and rename that. We'll get rid of the copy and add giant to the front. A lot of assets referencing this animation blueprint, so it takes a minute for it to save usually. All right, so now that we got that done, you'll notice he's all deformed. Let me go ahead and get rid of that flame preview so we can see what's going on here. Just check the little eyeball, no longer a flame. See, his legs are all messed up. He's all detached. That's because here in the asset override editor, all of these animations are still set to the original ant skeleton. So what we need to do is copy all of these. Easiest way to do that, click the magnifying glass. I'm going to go ahead and make this window a little smaller here. We'll move it over here. And we'll stretch that out a little bit. So we got ant ground idle. Need to retarget that. Same way we did before, uncheck that. Type in giant. Set it to our character. Same thing for all of these animations. Need to go through one by one, retargeting each one. All right, the ones that are set to trike still, we don't really need to worry about those. And this one, we already have it right here, so we don't need to copy that again. We do need the aim offset, so let's make this a little bigger here. Boom, click that. And there's a few more here, the charges and then the torpid. All right, so that's all of those. Now, if you come in here and look, you'll see we have all of these animations in here. Looks like there's a lot more than what we copied, right? That's because the aim offset has about 9 animations that go along with it. All the aim left, up, aim down, aim right, blah, blah. Those all come along with it. So go ahead and save them all. It's going to take a minute. And the skeleton. If you want, you can rename them. I usually do, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to rename them right now. All right, so those are all saved. And now one thing you might notice is we have an ant ground idle copy and an ant ground idle copy too. The reason for that is because these aim offsets sequences, each one of these references that idle copy, but it doesn't get this one, it creates its own new one. So what you can do is go ahead and just delete this. It's going to show references, it's referencing it, go ahead and delete it. You don't have to do this step, I just do because I don't want to have 2 copies of the same exact animation. So now you'll notice all these have a star on them. That means they need to be resaved again. That's because that idle animation is no longer referenced in this animation. So go ahead and open it up. And down here, scroll down, you'll see right here in the additive settings, you're going to want to go ahead and just set that to your ground idle copy, save it, and do that for all of them. Open it, set it, save it. All right, those are all set. So now what we're going to want to do is let's go ahead and open this guy up, the character BP again. And there's still a couple more animations we need to make to retarget. So first one is this one, the death animation. So go ahead and browse to it, right click, retarget it, uncheck your skeleton. And let's go ahead and we'll type in anim here. So we got that one. Next would be the attack. So click that, retarget it. All right, so now let's go into our folder where our new copies here. So here's our torpid. Go ahead and set it. Same thing with the attack. Where'd the attack go? He's up here. All right, so both of them are using the same animation, so you just set it there. And then this one, the last one. And we'll go back into our folder and we will set it to our hurt big. Now, some dinos are going to have other things here. Like flyers are going to have the jump and landed. Gallimimus probably has a jump animation, stuff like that. There's other stuff here you're going to want. Not all of them have this. Ant doesn't because it doesn't normally fall asleep or wake up. But yeah, most dinos will have animations here, so you'd want to do that to those as well. All right, so we're set here. Go ahead and last thing we need to do here is, let's see. Yep, see, we're still using the old mesh and the old animation blueprint. So now that we have all this retargeted, let's go ahead and save these. All right, yeah, we got them all. So now we're going to go ahead and set it to our mesh. You'll notice it automatically deletes that one, so set it to ours. And this one should be good to go. For now, anyway. All right, so notice our animation blueprint is still, he's deformed. That is because we need to set our animations in the asset override editor here. So all the ones we just copied here, let's see, where's, why do I still have two of those? Oh, you know what? That one copied it over again, so let's go back to our hurt big. Where is it? A lot of them here now, hard to find. The sequence for the hurt big is using the old ant. So let's go ahead and set it to our idle. And then we can delete this. It's saying it's still using that because we haven't saved it yet. That's fine. Just go ahead and delete it. And then save this one. Now, one thing I should probably mention on these montages, usually when you retarget it, it automatically sets it. But one thing you want to check is right here. Sometimes it'll be set to default group, default slot. It needs to be on something other than that, usually full body or additive, depending upon what type of animation it is. Check the blueprint or the animation that you're basing yours off of to find out what type it should be using. Again, like I said, when you retarget it, usually automatically puts it to what it should be. So you shouldn't have to worry about this unless you're creating your own custom animations. All right, so we got that out of the way. Let's go ahead and open up our animation blueprint again. And we're going to go to the asset override editor and set these to ours. So there's the ground idle. Remember, there's two of those, so go ahead and do that. Move forward, left, right, our aim offset, the charge forward, charge left. Now that one's done here twice, so do both those, both the rights. And then lastly, the torpid. Now remember, this is using the torpid idle copy, not the montage, so. Now it looks like we got all of our copies there, except for the trikes, because we don't need those. Now, when we compile this, our ant should no longer be deformed. And there he is, and he's moving around. doing his thing. All right, so animation blueprint set. We're going to go ahead now and add a socket under our skeleton. This one would be a good spot because it's kind of in the middle. This is where the bone starts right here. So we're going to go ahead and just right click and add a socket, and we'll call it writer socket. Boom, that's it. So now what we want to do is go ahead and select our writer socket. And as you notice, it's right up here in the middle of his body. I want to move it to it's about right here. So we'll just kind of slide it back a little. Boom, right there. That's it. So save it. And this should be good to go. Let's go ahead and, oh, you know what? We need to go into the here and set these animations to our copies. That one is already, or did we already do this? I think we did. We already set the, yep, they're already set to the attacks. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. Oh, that's what we forgot to do is set his size. All right, well, he's in there, he's tamed. So let's go ahead and exit out of here. And we'll open up the mesh. And go down here to scale. We'll set him to 5 on all 3 axes. Save it. Now let's try him again. Boom, there he is, big old ant. All right, so as you notice, we don't have a ride option yet. That's because we need to set him to ride, or be rideable. So, once again, we'll exit out, we'll open this guy up, the character blueprint, allow riding right there. Boom. Now, there's also, let's see, saddle. Since he's force tame, we don't need this, but if you want to make it so he doesn't require a saddle, you can do that. If you want to make him require a saddle, you can do that as well. I'm not going to go into how to do that. Look at other dinos for how they set up the saddles on those. Alright, so go ahead and spawn in our giant ant. Now we should have a ride option when we walk up to him. Yep. Now one thing, when I get on him, it's probably not going to be scaled right, and I'm also going to be sitting in an angle, I'm sure. So, yep, there we go. See? That's an easy fix. So what you want to do is go ahead and open up your skeleton. And on the rider socket, that was the roll. We'll try negative 90 degrees here. And then we also want to scale that socket. I'd say that guy was probably about 4 times too big, so we'll go ahead and try it at 0.25 on each one of these. And let's go ahead and save it. And we'll try again here. There we go. See, that's a lot more. That's much better. He's just a little off. All we'd have to do is just kind of move the bone socket. And we can actually do that while he's on here. Rider socket. Oops, let's see. We make that. Yeah, let's go full size because we need the transform here. And we'll move it here so we can see what's going on. Oh, way too much. Alrighty, let's go ahead and set this back to 0, 0, 0. And let's just go ahead and do it like this. We'll go 5. Oh, that's the wrong one. Way too much. Don't ask me why it's doing it on weird axes like that. It should be Z for up and down, but okay. You get the point, what you need to do here. He's almost there. Probably go down a little bit here now. And good enough. So now you notice he's going a little slow here. Let's close that out so you can see. See, that's at a sprint. So that's an easy fix. Save our skeleton. Open the character BP, and let's just go ahead and search for speed. And then we want the max walk speed. It's only 67. 250 sounds pretty good. We'll go ahead and try that. You can play with these other settings, adjust them for prone and crouch, although dinos, I don't think this guy's going to go crouch or prone, so, or fly. Can make him swim though. So let's go ahead and try it out now. He should be a little faster. Yeah, he's quite a bit faster. You can set the speed to whatever you want. Just adjust it. Then he's got his attack. All right, so let's go ahead and add a particle to him. We'll just make his eyes have flames on them. I'll go to the component section, add component, particle system. Inflame, that's the one they use for the preview, so we'll go ahead and add that. And then you want to drag it onto the mesh here. Select the bone, should have some eye sockets here. See, eye. That looks like the ant doesn't have an eye socket. Most other dinos do have eye sockets, so we can just go ahead and we'll put it on his jaw. Then we can move it to where we need to. It's usually easier if you uncheck real time, that way he's not moving around. And then just kind of put it right there. Boom. Copy it, or duplicate it. Set it back to the same bone, jaw, and then just slide it over. Click it on real time, now he's got flaming eyes. And if you notice the smoke's going off to the right there, we can fix that. Set that to 0. Oops, that's the wrong one. See the red. There you go. And there's our giant rideable ant with flaming eyeballs. Hope this helps somebody. Thanks for watching.